What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. What's up, loves? Welcome back to another episode of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. Today, we are talking about money, and we are talking about the current economic state of things in our world and what it means for you in terms of manifesting money into your life right now with all of the shit that is going on. And I wanted to talk about this today because regardless of what is going on in our economic climate right now, money is one of the most important pieces of manifestation and of our lives. If you haven't listened to the podcast, you will see, if you continue to listen to the podcast, that I talk about this a lot because money touches every single area of our lives. And when we are experiencing inflation and all of the different things that we've been experiencing, especially here in the US, in terms of the economy, it is so easy to get caught in the limiting beliefs and the fear and the scarcity and the lack and all of the things that is being preached and said to us on a daily basis, and really hard to stay in your own power and in your own energy and continue to attract and manifest even more money into your life. So that's what we're going to be diving into on today's episode. So let's get into this. So what I want to first say is that manifestation and the law of attraction does not go away just because we're experiencing inflation. Doesn't go away just because these media and news sources and social media and everything are constantly preaching about how we're in economic ruin right now, how inflation is ridiculous, how all of these different things are going on. And when you are so tuned in and tapped into that, it may feel as though manifestation has gone away because you may be experiencing more economic issues or hardship than you were. But the reality of it is that manifestation doesn't just go away. The universal laws do not just go away no matter what we're experiencing. So over the past few years, the pandemic, the social justice movements, the war, the things that are happening with the economy right now, the law of attraction and these universal laws don't go away just because there's these hard things that are happening. Because it is a universal law of nature, and it isn't dependent on what is going on for all of these things that are being announced on the news and on the media. It's dependent on you. What is going on for you, your vibration, what you are dictating with your vibration and what you're attracting into your life because of that. And yes, on a collective level, the law of attraction does still apply, and that's why we're experiencing a fuck ton of shit like this, because there has been so much fear and scarcity and lack and not good enough and whatnot that has been projected out into the universe for such a long time, and we're attracting back the shit that comes back with it. But we, on an individual level, are responsible for what we attract and manifest into our own lives on that personal level. And what your vibration is going to impact you directly on that personal level. So that's what I want to state to bring this podcast to a start, is the law of attraction and manifestation do not go away in any sort of time of like panic or chaos or hardship. It is still there. It is still working. And it gives us even more of a reason to be even more intentional with our vibration, with our thoughts, with our emotions, with our behaviors, with our actions, because that is the energy that we are going to attract back into our lives. So, with that being said, right now is super important to be careful with what you are giving your energy away to. And what I mean by that is, how much time are you consuming all of these media sources? How much time are you spending paying attention to the news? How much time are you listening to gurus on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok talking about how we're all fucked, or how we are going to be in economic ruin, or whatever the scenario may be? Like, how much time are you spending paying attention to those sources? How much time are you spending giving your energy away to the fear, to the scarcity, to the lack? Because if you are giving your time away, giving your energy away, giving your emotion away to those different sources, then that is going to affect your vibration, and that is going to affect what you manifest back into your life in terms of like your finances. And like I said, right now is a time to be even more intentional with your relationship to money, the way that you interact with money, the way that you talk about money, the way that you get information about money, the sources that you listen to regarding money, the books that you read, whatever it is that you are doing to educate yourself on money is going to be so crucial during this time, because the majority of what is available to us is what is on the screens, which is the fear and the scarcity and the lack. And if you are not aware and you are not protecting your energy and you are not very deliberate and intentional with what you're choosing to put your energy and focus into, then that absolutely will affect your vibration and manifest, once again, things back into your finances that just confirm what the media sources are telling you. And the reason that that is happening is because of the law of attraction. It's this self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think about it, if you believe it, if you fear it, if you put all of your attention and focus into it, then that is what you're going to attract back into your life. Because the law of attraction attracts like vibrational energy back into our lives. So being very intentional with what you're giving your energy away to right now, as well as being aware of getting caught up in the fearful stories of what could happen to you. Yes, to a certain extent, it's nice to be aware of what we can do to protect ourselves, what we can do to make sure that we have our finances in a place where if anything was to happen, it wouldn't impact us in a devastating or a life-changing sort of way. And in addition to that, when you get so caught up in the fearful stories of what could happen to you, what you put your focus and what you put your attention into is what's going to expand. So you almost are putting yourself into the position where you are attracting back in those unfortunate things to your finances or to your life to prove that the fearful stories are true. Once again, like I was just saying, it's like what we put our focus and attention into is what we're going to manifest back into our lives. It's the self-fulfilling prophecy of when I see it, then I'll believe it. So our society, as far back as it goes, has taught us this old, dusty, harmful belief of when I see it, then I'll believe it. And right now, with what's going on in the economy as a whole, we're being shown through the media, through all of these different things, evidence after evidence after evidence of why this is true, and then saying, okay, it's true. I believe this. I believe that this is happening right now. I believe that it could happen to me. And we attract and manifest into our lives what we believe with absolute certainty. So therefore, manifesting that back into your life. But the reality is that like I just said, we manifest what we believe with absolute certainty. So you don't have to see it to believe it. You can choose to believe it and then see it. And that's the reverse of what gets to happen for you if you want to shift your relationship with money and shift your finances and what's going on for you, is choosing to believe what is going to be supportive, what is going to allow you to continue to elevate and feel secure and feel safe inside of your finances. And because you're creating this rock solid belief system with it, then see that as the reality, because we manifest what we believe with absolute certainty, whether that be destructive and harmful or supportive and expansive. And knowing that like you're the one who gets to dictate that. Once again, universal law of attraction. It's not that the world gets to decide for you. You get to decide for you. And I hope that if you're listening to this podcast episode, that you're going to really take that in and recognize that like, fuck what the world says. Fuck what everybody else says is true for you and is true for your life and is true for your finances. No, you get to choose. You get to decide. You get to be the one who steps into this position of power and says, okay, this may be true for other people and for what the media and the news sources are saying is going on for these different examples, but that's not me. I'm not one of those people. I'm an exception from that, and I'm choosing to elevate right now. I'm choosing that money is a constant in my life. I'm choosing that I have more money than I know what to do with. I'm choosing that money is something that is constantly supporting me in my life. I'm choosing to believe that my financial success is inevitable. I'm choosing to believe all of these supportive stories around money, all of these supportive beliefs around money, because you choosing that, sinking into your power and choosing that that is your reality, even though the external world wants to tell you otherwise, that is one of the strongest energies that you can carry. And through emitting out that energy and choosing that energy for yourself, that's what you're going to attract back in by the universal law of attraction. And an example of this that I want to give to all of you is that 2 years ago this time, when the pandemic had just really kicked off, we were all in this state of uncertainty and people were losing their jobs and there was just like so much chaos going on. I had a brief moment of like, oh fuck, what does this mean for me? I just started a business. Are people not going to be buying things right now because they're fearful of what's going on? And everything that was being preached on the media, on these news sources, was starting to get to my head. And that's when I gave myself this moment to reconnect with myself and reconnect with my truth and reconnect with my power and ask myself, okay, what do I want to believe is true for me right now? Do I want to believe that my business is fucked? Do I want to believe that like I'm fucked and that I'm going to suffer because of what's going on? Or do I want to choose to believe that I'm actually going to thrive right now? I'm going to elevate right now. I'm going to be the exception to what is going on, and I'm going to show the world what's possible in terms of manifesting your reality. And I did. That's like exactly what happened. I had that moment of fear and really addressed my energy and recognized that that was coming from all of these external sources. But my internal dialogue and the way that I felt inside of myself and what I was choosing to be true for myself and my belief systems was what was actually going to create my reality and actually dictate what was going on for me. So in that moment, I decided to sink down into my truth and sink down into my power. And I manifested like, I think $12,000 in the month of April of 2020. And that was 4 months into owning my business. And that was something that I didn't necessarily know was possible, but I held this belief of the fact that like I got to thrive. I got to be the exception to what was happening. And allow my finances to thrive because of it. And it's the exact same reality for like what's going on right now with the economy. It's like you don't have to group yourself in with the rest of the world and what is happening and take on the collective belief of like, oh fuck, well this is too expensive and that's too expensive and oh my god, this is now $1 more. Oh my god, gas prices and this and that and blah blah blah. Like, yes, those things are happening and you don't have to allow them to affect you in a way where it lowers your vibration and changes your story and your relationship with money into a place that is harmful for your vibration and harmful for what you're going to attract and manifest back by the universal law of attraction. So watch your language when it comes to money. Watch the way that you talk about the gas prices right now, the way that you talk about groceries, the way that you talk about every single thing in terms of money, because that is an energetic exchange. The way that you talk about money, the way that you feel about money, the way that you interact with money is an energetic exchange. And that energetic exchange is, once again, what you're going to manifest into your life. So if you find yourself constantly shit-talking money at the moment, shit-talking gas prices, shit-talking grocery prices, shit-talking whatever it is that you're purchasing, check yourself, because that energy is going to affect the way that you manifest money back into your life. And it can also be the other way. You can also choose to see this in an abundant energy. You can choose to change your relationship with money and change your dialogue around money to something that is supportive for you. Because I already said it, but I'm going to say it again. You get to dictate how you are attracting and manifesting money into your life. Not the government, not anybody else, nothing external from you. You get to dictate it, and you are dictating it right now. And inflation doesn't matter if you're in a state of overflow. So when you're in a state of overflow, it doesn't fucking matter. And that's honestly the reality, that even if I didn't have the physical manifestation of money, the energy that I would be holding myself in is like, inflation doesn't matter if I'm in overflow. A recession doesn't matter if I'm in overflow. Not to say that we're in a recession right now, but like all the fear that is going on around it. It's like, that wouldn't matter if I'm in overflow. So I'm going to choose to focus on overflow, because what we put our focus into is going to expand. So if you choose to focus on overflow, if you choose to focus on abundance, if you choose to focus on more than enough, on these supportive beliefs and relationship with money, then none of this shit matters. And you get to hold yourself in this place, even if the external reality doesn't match it yet, because what you believe is going to manifest your reality. And really allow yourself to hold yourself in that place, even though the world is going to say, well, you can see it when you believe it. It's like, no, fuck that. I'm going to believe it, and then I'm going to see it, because that's how you are actually going to rise above and create even more money than what you know what to do with during this state of the economy being what it is right now. You get to decide for yourself. And I know I already said it, but like, this is the perfect time to heal your relationship with money. There's been so many perfect opportunities in the past few years. And I mean, honestly, always to heal your relationship with money. But like, honestly, these external moments of chaos and panic that are happening are the perfect opportunity for you to heal your relationship with money, because they're bringing to the surface all of the different limiting beliefs and all of the subconscious things that you have surrounding money. And that makes it even easier to do the inner work, because when things are comfortable, things are easy, those things are just going to lie dormant underneath the surface and not expose themselves, because there's nothing triggering them to the surface. But in these times that shit is really triggering, and there is panic, and there is all of this chaos swirling on the surface, that is like the most opportune time to do the inner work, because you don't have to dive that far into what your belief systems are to start to change them, because all of that shit is rising to the surface with all of the external chaos that is going on. So if you have been having a challenging time with your belief system around money recently, or your relationship to money recently, see this as your opportunity. It doesn't have to be a hindrance. It doesn't have to be anything that is harmful to you. It can actually be the most powerful opportunity for you to completely change your relationship with money. And for anybody who's listening to the podcast, send me the word money in an Instagram DM if you want to learn how to manifest money regardless of what the economic state of the world looks like, and regardless of what your finances look like right now. If you're wanting to understand how you can change your relationship with money, DM me the word money on Instagram. I'd love to have a conversation with you to see if I can help you change your relationship with money. So that is what I have for you on this podcast episode. I hope that if you have been freaking out about money recently, or if any of this resonates with you, that you take me up on this offer of messaging me on Instagram, sending me the word money, because I know that for all of you who listen to the podcast, you know that my financial circumstances didn't look the way that they do right now that long ago. A little over 2 years ago, I was $70,000 in debt, not making enough money to survive, and truly had just like a fucked up toxic relationship with money. And after healing my relationship with money and getting my inner world into alignment and truly elevating my vibration and using intentional manifestation, I went from $70,000 in debt and not making enough money to survive to now being completely financially free and manifesting multiple 5 figures a month consistently. So if I can do it, you can do it. All you need is the right guidance to help you shift the relationship that you have with money right now and really heal from those different things, because it doesn't matter what is going on externally. Just like I've said in this podcast episode, what matters is what's going on for you internally. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you on the next one. I'm sending you all of my love. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to today's episode. I am so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.